In Part 5 of Lecture 1, we will discuss counting loops. Something else that separates computers from calculators is the ability to do the same thing over and over again. The ability to perform the same set of instructions without having to write them over and over again becomes very important. This is something that is included in Java and virtually every programming language. And we're going to call this a loop. We will see that there are two types of loops in a program: counting loops and conditional loops. Conditional loops is something that we will talk more about later. A counting loop performs a set of instructions a predetermined number of times. I can read this loop and I can see quickly how many times that's going to be performed. Whereas in the case of a conditional loop, I would have to trace it with a specific set of data to know how many times it will perform. And that will only be valid for that particular data set. Let's start out by looking at a program that will greet the user with the line "Hello again" 5 times. I could write the following program: import Java util scanner, public class hello again, and in the comment hello again, this program writes hello again 5 times. And now let's take a look at the main method. Public static void main, string open close brackets, args, close parenthesis, open brace, system out println, hello again, 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 and end it with a close brace for the main method and a close brace for the class. It obviously is very repetitive. It takes a certain amount of time to write. And the truth of the matter is, there doesn't seem to be a good reason to write it this way. Something has to be done to come up with a better way, and we'll see that it has. We are going to make use of a for loop, and this is how we will write counting loops. In Java, it will look like this: for, and inside parentheses, count equals start, semicolon, count is less than or equal to finish, semicolon, count plus plus, and then of course the close parenthesis, and then we'll have a statement ending in a semicolon. Alternatively, I can begin it the same way, but end it differently. For, open paren, count equals start, semicolon, count is less than or equal to finish, semicolon, count plus plus, close parenthesis, and inside a pair of braces, however many statements I may need. Let's take a good look at the for statement itself. After the reserved word for, we have an open parenthesis, and 3 expressions inside the parentheses, separated by semicolons. Count equals start gives an initial value to the variable that we will use to count the number of times we go through the loop. Count is less than or equal to finish. This condition must be true for us to enter or re-enter the loop. In some cases, rather than writing count is less than or equal to finish, we may write count is less than finish. But that's something we may look at a little later. And lastly, count plus plus. This is how the value goes up from its initial value, going from 1 to 2 to 3 and so on until we're out of the loop. Now that we've seen how to write a for loop, let's use it and rewrite hello again. Public class hello again, and our introductory comment hello again. This is a better way to write hello again 5 times. We write the header for the main method, public static void main, string, open close brackets, args, close parenthesis, open brace, int I, and inside we have for open parenthesis, I equals 1 semicolon, I is less than or equal to 5 semicolon, I plus plus close parenthesis, and then system out println hello again. We'll have a closed brace for the main method and another one for the class. While this program is a major improvement over the first one, it is still flawed in a fundamental way. It gives us no choice as to how many times we actually are going to print hello again. We would like to be able to have the user decide how many times to print the message. Now, creating the algorithm for this is not necessarily that difficult. We'll start out with step 1, find out how many times the user wants us to print that message. And second step is to print the message that many of times. We'll have system out println and a next int to find out what the input is, and then a for loop to print the message out. The program, again, will begin with import Java util scanner. The earlier versions did not have this because they did not use input. Public class hello again 3, open brace, and a comment here. Hello again 3, write hello again as many times as the user wants. Now the header for the main method, public static void main, string open close brackets args close parenthesis, open brace. We set up the scanner. Scanner keyboard equals new scanner system in. And for the variables, int I, count, total times. Now to prompt the user, we'll write system out println, how many times do you want to say, quote, hello, unquote, and then a question mark and a quotation mark. The backslash in front of the quotation marks means that it is not ending a string. It is rather just another character in the string. We do the input now with total times equals keyboard next int. Now we're ready for the for statement. For count equals 0, semicolon, count is less than total times, semicolon, count plus plus. System out println hello again. In this case, rather than counting from 1 to n, we're counting from 0 to n minus 1. This is a more popular style in Java, although had I used count equals 1 and count is less than or equal to total times, it would have worked just as well. Let's go back to an earlier problem. We want to find the average of n values. Now, I could ask for one value after another, just write it out there literally, but that would limit me to a very specific number of values. Using a loop, I can make it an arbitrary number of values, wait until the user enters that number, and then simply repeat the same instruction over and over again. Let's take a look at the algorithm for this. Step 1, we will find the number of values that there are. Step 2, we will add up all the values. Step 3, divide by the number of values. And step 4, print the result. We begin the program with import Java util scanner. We begin the class itself with public class average n open brace. And inside the class, we have a comment, average n, find average of n values. We begin the main method, public static void main, open paren string, open close brackets, args, close parenthesis, and an open brace to begin the method. Scanner keyboard equals new scanner system in, double sum, average value. These all need to be double precision floating point, and then int num values, current value. These are going to be integer. Let's find out how many values there will be. system out println. How many values are you looking to enter? And below that, num values equals keyboard.nextInt, open close parentheses, semicolon. Now we will use a loop to read in and add up all the values. We can do these two operations together, more or less. Sum equals 0.0, and the for statement reads for current value equals 1, semicolon. Current value is less than or equal to num values, semicolon. Current value plus plus, close parenthesis, open brace. Inside the loop, we will ask system out println, what is the next value? Value equals keyboard.next double. Sum equals sum plus value, and a close brace to end the loop. We can then calculate and print out the average. Average equals sum divided by num values. And lastly, system out println, open parenthesis, quote, the average is unquote plus average, close parenthesis, semicolon, a close brace for the method, and a close brace for the class.